It's a time for package from China. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at the SF900 2.4 GHz wireless controller, game controller, whatever, 2.4 wireless receiver. It's all confusing, but basically what this thing is a plug and play HDMI stick that can play some Super Famicom games. Finally, no more 8-bit stuff. But for the Wicked family, if you don't know what a Wicked family is, that's basically my community. So consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family. And what you're going to get here is like a lot of reviews. And I reviewed so many of those 8-bit systems. I was completely done with those things. And especially when you're like seeing sometimes having like 8-bit system with so many cool features and sometimes like freaking awful. So I was glad to see they finally released the 16-bit editions. But the question remains, how good or how bad are these things? Because they all have like these fancy boxes with a lot of great information, but when you plug it in, sometimes it's really crappy. Okay, so about crappy, yeah, let's try it. I just want to see what we're going to get in the box. To begin with, we're going to get ourselves the toilet paper manual. Like there's basically it's okay explanation like what you can do with it. For example, pressing select to start. It's kind of weird. Like it's quick explanation and of course the warning and precautions. Okay, so let's see. We're going to get two controllers, Super Famicom like. I think this is the US style with the colors. We in the Europe had the different style. Then we're going to get ourselves the plug and play stick. This is basically the console, like this, that's it. Like it comes also with an SD card. I can say like you can add games to these things, so that's pretty cool. Not like the weird stuff that I've seen before. So here we're going to get the HDMI connection. The only thing that we need to do is like plug it in HDMI, get yourself some USB 5V power. You can use a 5V adapter, or maybe you can get some juice from the television. That's even more like super convenient, because then you can just basically plug and play, and when you're turning on your television on the HDMI signal, then you're going to get your game console. Easy peasy. Alright, so the controller. So I did a review about the Sega version and the controllers were absolutely amazing. But with this I'm going to get like a bit of a mixed feeling. So first of all, the buttons, they feel great. Like they're having the low profile buttons, very short travel, they feel absolutely amazing. Select start. The D-pad feels good, but the only thing I didn't really like is the L and R, but it's more like a personal thing. The L and R, like these clickies micro switch buttons, I'm not a big fan of. I just want to have the old school one that have basically a hinge in combination with the membrane. Select to start with the rubbery buttons, I do like it. Then we're going to get the option for player 1, player 2 over here, so that's very convenient. I'm always like messing it up, so if you don't have this option, you need to figure out like 50-50, which one is player 1, you know, like it's quite annoying. And you can just change it out over here. Another thing that I like is you only need one AAA battery, give you a couple of hours playtime, so that's quite nice. How long exactly, don't know, there is no information. I played for a couple of hours, but I cannot say like how long they will go on one battery, depending of course what kind of brand you're using. But enough talking, let's play some games. Okay, so let's take a close look at the menu itself. The menu is quite easy to navigate through. You're only going to get yourself like here the sports, shooting, adventure, fighting, puzzle and folder. The weird thing about the folder, I think it's not like navigating through the files, but basically if you want to play a game and you just want to revisit to see like what you played last, you can see it over there. This is what I understand of. Kind of weird they call it folder. Another thing I do like about it is the menu. The setup menu, you cannot really reach it in the main menu. You need to boot up a game and pressing select and start at the same time. Because when you're going to do this, this is what you're going to get. So we're going to get resume, quit to the main menu. We're having quick load, quick save. What I do like about here, we're going to get these tiny screenshots. So every single game has 5 slots. The screen can be set up to full screen and scaling up, or in other words like the original aspect ratio. Settings set to NTSC, PAL and auto. So this depends what kind of file you're booting up. And yeah, I showed it in my Sega plug and play device. It was actually like working very well. Okay, so let's boot up a game, and when you're looking at the performance when it comes to emulation, it's quite good. So let's go back to the scaling options, select start. Here you can see like we can make a quick save if you want to. It's quite nice. I'm going to give you the screenshot, scaling up, press resume again, start, and we're back with the aspect ratio. If it's exactly like it should be, that is something we need to debate in the comment section. You do see there's some glitching, so let's see if we can fix that, because stuff like this will happen. Okay, so next up, let's try something else. So you did see like there was some glitching in the beginning. So let's boot up game, let's see how it runs. Because sometimes what you need to do, like with this, you need to go to the menu, go to system, for example, set it to PAL. It's most of the time going to be set to automatic, but maybe it will not work at all. But you can see that doesn't improve the situation. So it's always like possible that some games will have some problems. A little bit of a bummer. So let's try a different game. Okay, so next up let's try Desert Strike, just to see one of my favorite games. If it's going to start about the chopper, get to the chopper, get to it now. Sorry, just needed to say that. But this game I played it so much as a child. It is a really fun game to play. It's not like a big series. I think you had Soviet Strike, Nuclear Strike. They ported it to the PlayStation 1, to the N64. But this thing on the Super Nintendo looked really cool. But here you can see like this game runs just fine. So this was more like a problem with a certain game. Still, like even now, I find it a little bit of a bummer that we have some issues with some games. So come on man, you can play 16-bit on freaking everything nowadays. When you're looking at the image quality and also how smooth the game is, I find it quite disappointing because still I find the image itself quite choppy. I don't find it a very pleasant experience to watch too. Okay, so next up let's do a little bit on pinball, but I must say like I'm quite disappointed when it comes to the performance of the games. I was hoping that we're actually going to get like perfect gameplay, but sadly they completely messed it up. A lot of glitching here and there, and I find the games running quite choppy. And again, it's disappointing because you can see like nowadays we're having so many of these boxes stuff that runs Super Famicom just great. So nothing beats the original deal, that is just a fact today. Alright, so let's take a close look in the inside what this thing made of. Is it just actually like an Android box or an Android stick? Okay, let's get my pry tool. Okay, you can just open it up very easy. Oh man, so what I hate about these things, like they basically like remove the information of the chip, so you don't know actually what kind of stuff it's running. I'm guessing this is the memory. Here the other side where we're going to get a lot of chips, and of course here we're going to get the receiver for the remotes. So that's it, like that's the only thing that we're going to get. There is no cooling whatsoever because this thing is also getting really hot. Like I can still hold it in my hands, but I think it will not be very dangerous. You can see like over here in the shell there are some ventilation holes, but I rather see like some better cooling elements on this. But yeah, it doesn't by the way even matter because this thing runs pretty damn horrible when it comes to the gameplay. Okay guys, so yeah, I'm quite disappointed. I was so excited to see that they're finally going to make a 16-bit Super Famicom stick, but it is like really bad emulation. Like this is really bad and like it's choppy, glitching, stuff like that. It's cool to see that we're actually having aspect ratio, but the end result is not good. So when you're looking at the SF900 controller, I would say that I do like it. It plays very nice. It feels like a nice quality controller. Only the shoulder buttons, I don't like them at all. And overall, what also I noticed, like something that I did in testing a couple of days ago, and when I added the battery and I just wanted to boot it up again, it was empty. So I have this idea, like basically when you leave the battery in, it will pull the battery dry. So that's not a good thing. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of this. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become a Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah.